Hey everyone, Cece Fangirl here, and I know it's been a long time since I've put out a shooting video, but as you can see, I've been prepping for reloading, and that's my new primer of choice is the Federal Small Pistol Match Primers. They're a bit more expensive, but I'll tell you what, they're always in stock. Nobody seems to be buying them in Canada. They're just going with the blue Federals, and with a trigger job on the Shadow 2 with the 8-pound Cajun Gunworks mainspring, you pretty much need to be shooting Federal. However, I did do a video where I was shooting CCI Blazer brass, and the gun was setting those off, but they weren't setting off CCI home reloads for some reason, which is bizarre. But anyways, I've been stockpiling steel, and so I have this has all been acquired from Range Rabbit. They're a company in Kelowna, BC, that make AR 500 steel targets. I've got target stands made up. Those black ones are for the paper targets. You just put your lath in there, and then for your uprights, of course, and that holds them in place, and then you throw a sandbag over top of that, and then they don't get blown around. I chopped up a bunch of 2x4s for the target, or the Steel Challenge targets, which are these round 10-inch circles here. So we're not actually going to be doing Steel Challenge up here. It's some sort of modified steel shooting that we're going to be doing. I did get a heart attack gong, which is, okay, so that's the heart attack gong here. This is about 50 pounds, pretty strong, lifting it with one hand. The premise behind the heart attack gong is that you hang this up, and then you're supposed to hit that center there, and it is just a free hanging target behind the main target here. So, but that's going to be kind of fun to shoot at 10 yards. And then the other thing I did was, there's a Know Your Limits target that these things used to be hanging off of a chain, and when you hit them, they'd of course, you know, do the whole swinging back and forth thing, and it would take forever to settle back down again. But what I did was, I had a stand. It was called the X-Wing stand, and it had these guys as legs, these 5 steel legs here, which I repurposed into the holders, so that now when they hang off of the cross beam, they won't do the whole mad swinging thing. They should stay fairly secure in there. And the other thing I can do with them is actually mount them on the ground, and then I call them lollipop targets. So they'll hang or sit this way instead of hanging that way. And those, all 5 of them, are on these target holders now. So they go from the biggest, which is a 10-inch, down to the smallest, which is like a 2-inch. Okay, got a few new things in the gun safe vault. I got some new, no, I didn't get these. Anyways, I've been using the the snake powder, which is the Alliance Sport Pistol, ASP, and I've gotten some, these are new. So these are the Cam Pro 158 grain round nose flat points, and they're 11 grains heavier than the 147s I had been shooting. And I'd worked up a load for these with 3 grains. I did 2.9 grains and 3 grains. The 2.9 gave me a power factor of 125, like just squeaked by. And there was one shot in there that was over 800, and everything else was under 800 feet per second. So I didn't really want to trust making power factor with the 2.9 grains, so I bumped it up to 3, and that was giving me a really decent power factor of 128. And these are super soft shooting. Holy smokes, these are, yeah, crazy. I let a buddy of mine shoot them, and he's a big fan of the 147s as well, and I think he's going to be making a switch. But now I've got 2,000 rounds of 147s that I'm going to have to get rid of because I'm not going to shoot them anymore. I'm going to switch to the 158s. And I'll do a recoil assessment chart like I did with the 124s to 147s. Now the next thing is the little dehumidifier for the gun safe, and this thing actually works really well. So I'm not sure if you can see the water level in there. Yeah, so there we go. So this is a Pro Breeze. I got it from Amazon for like $30 or something like that. It was super cheap. But this thing does a really good job of pulling out the humidity and the moisture in the air here. Let's see what we're running at. 49%, which is pretty decent. If I can keep it under 50%, that's better. And then in the gun safe itself, I'm running at 45. And in the gun safe, I have these Evadries. I've got 2 of them in there. And then that does a really good job of protecting my babies, my 2 optic ready Shadow 2s, which are, well, as my subscribers know, I've done trigger jobs on both of them, but they're going to be getting some more work done very shortly here. I found a new parts supplier in one of the European countries that are active with IPSC, and parts that I haven't seen from Cajun Gunworks yet, so that's going to be a big deal. And this is the last big purchase that I've made here. This is a Nana case. It's made in Canada. This one's called the 4-Up. How do you like my bullet hole names? All right, let's have a look. See here. So this is a really well-made case. So it's got these Power Claw locks on, or clasps on them, and you can get the TSA compliant ones, which means that the TSA agents can open it up if they need to. And so this is a very ample sized case. I've got my Hopi's cloth in there. It holds 10 magazines, but you can also squish in a bit more. And then I had to make modifications to the foam for my magwells, which I'm keeping on my guns now. But the fact that it holds 10 rounds is, or 10 magazines, is really awesome, because that's what I have for my Shadow 2s. And I've got some cleaners in there, lens cleaner. I've got a lens brush pen there. And this is a gun case dehumidifier. So in the winter time, when I go out shooting, and then I put the gun, which is now ice cold, and put it back into the gun safe, which is a little bit warmer. And then of course when I'm driving, the vehicle gets a bit warmer and the inside of the case gets a bit warmer, and then of course that's where you get condensation. And usually I acclimate my guns before I bring them in the house. I'll keep them in a fairly cooler spot, and then just let the temperature go up gradually. But these things seem to do a really good job of pulling out the moisture. It's all about the humidity control. anyway, so our range is now open again, and I'm going to be probably heading out shooting this week and running some test videos on the 158s, and then hopefully doing a bit of steel shooting as well. So anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.